Assalamualaikum dear viewers, and welcoming you to our online class from Rangpur Jila School. This is Abdul Rafi from Rangpur Jila School, and I'm here with the last and the third part of completing sentences. So let's get started with new examples for new rules. Okay, the examples are: Allah will help us as long as we are honest. The next one, I shall be beside you as long as you follow me. So the examples are here, and the conjunction is as long as. Let's look at the tense of the sentences first before going into its message. So first one, next, Allah will help us. We are honest. The same thing, I shall be beside you. You follow me. So can you identify their tenses? Maybe you have got the identification of the tenses. So let's, okay, future indefinite tense, and another is present indefinite tense. Okay, students, doesn't the combination of future and present tenses remind you of any other conjunction? Okay, you have got the conjunction that you have already learnt, and it is if, and of course here it is as long as is equal to if. That means this conjunction as long as can be replaced by if. So you know the structure from your previous class, and that is termed as conditional sentence. Okay, so I'm not going to give you any activity for these examples. Let's look at the next couple of sentences where we will find the use of as long as. So these two sentences also contain the conjunction as long as, but they are with different tenses. Okay, so as long as is equal to till. In this place, the as long as can be replaced by the conjunction till. So as they are much easy, so I am not going to give you any more activity for this lesson. Let's move on our next slide. Okay, so as oblique since the boy was ill, he could not walk. Next one, I went to bed early as or since I felt tired because of fasting. Okay, so next one, and of course third one. So now let's look at the conjunction as or since. So what about the tenses? Okay, the boy was ill, he couldn't walk. I felt tired because of fasting, then I went to bed early. She didn't study well, the girl didn't pass the exam. Can you identify their relation? What type of relation they are having here? Okay, so one is reason, she didn't study well, and the other is the result. Okay, so the girl didn't pass, this is the result, because she didn't study well. So the relation is this. Okay, one thing is important is that as or since these two words can be replaced by because. Okay, and this is your activity, right? Okay, so it's your turn to go with the activity. Let's move on to next slide. So as soon as we reach school, the bell rang. Next one, and here are the examples. And what about the conjunction? As soon as, it's common in each sentence. And this is our guide to move on. In each sentence, two actions happen. For example, in sentence 3, I come back home. then father calls me, of course instantly. Now it's important, check the situation where we use as soon as. Okay, the situation is the ending of first action and the starting of the second action have hardly heavy space, any space, hardly have any space. I came back home, my father called me. Okay, the situation is ending and starting of the two actions have hardly any space. Look at the examples or the tenses of the examples. Both the sentences are of the same tenses, are from the same tenses, but it does not mean that we are not able to use this phrase in present tense. So though I have used only past tense here. So remember, the situation is similar to the situation of no sooner hardly structure. So this structure is already known to you, so I am not going to give you any more explanation on the use of as soon as. So please let's move on for the next slide. Okay, don't lose your attention, as we are going to have more things to know. Unless we start right now, we will miss the train. Second one, you will suffer from COVID-19 unless you follow the health and hygiene, and unless you work hard, you can't succeed. So like the previous ones, let's look at the conjunction. Unless, unless, and unless. Okay, good. Let's try to get the message from the examples. First one, unless you start right now, we will miss the train. Okay, it means if we want to catch the train, we must start right now, or we can say in another way, if we don't start right now, we will miss the train. From the message, it is clear that if plus not is equal to unless. Okay, and let's look at the examples for their structure. If we look at the tense of the sentence, then you will find the combination of present tense and future tense also confirm the presence of each. Okay, the students, I think that you have got a mental structure of the use of unless, so it is almost related with your previous lesson, first conditionals, and only the difference is with negative message. So do the activity by yourself. Okay, let's see what is waiting for us in the next slide. Here are two more examples with a conjunction after, which is very known to you, as you have mastery over tenses in your previous classes, especially past perfect tense. So we are not going to hang on it. Let's be a bit faster with structure normally used with after. Okay, past indefinite, past perfect, here is the structure, and of course here is your activity. Okay, the next slide is also with the use of after. Let's have a look on them. So you will be successful after you have worked hard. I shall go to Nepal after I have got visa, and your parents will be happy after you have earned a score. So these words, this sentence also contain conjunction after, okay, and it will be successful if you have worked hard. So look at the tense of the sentence. Future indefinite tense and present perfect tense. And the structure is future indefinite tense plus perfect plus after, plus after plus present perfect tense. When we are going to talk about present or future time using after, we follow this format all the time. In this situation, after can be replaced by when, and your regular activity is here. Now it's time to move on the next slide, of course, for more examples. Okay, look at the examples first. Okay, here the required conjunction is before, whose basic use is also known to you like after. Here two past events are described. One happened a bit earlier than the other. The first one is in past perfect tense and next one is in past indefinite tense. And here is the structure. The structure is past perfect tense plus before plus past. Good, as it is known to you, so I am not going to hang on it anymore. So your activity is here, but remember one thing, any part of the sentence will be given in the exam paper and you are to write the other part to complete the sentence, and your guide word is the conjunction, and basically it is before here. Look at the activity. Okay, let's move on to the next slide. So it is no good memorizing the answer without understanding. It is no good giving him any advice. Okay, so let's try to look at the common phrase here. It is no good. Next, it is no good. Okay, let's move on for another couple of sentences. It is no use asking him the question. It is no use giving him any advice. Here the common phrase is it is no use. And what about the next? It is also no use. Okay, if you look at the sentences, you will be able to trace their message, and doing the activity is fruitless. That means the message is about uselessness. For example, it is no good giving him any advice. It means if we give him any advice, he won't receive it or follow it. Okay, and it is mere a waste of energy on our part. Okay, let's head to formatting the structure. Memorizing the answer without understanding, giving him any advice. And if we look attentively, then it is no good use followed by verb ing plus extension part. Okay, and if we look at the next couple of sentences, the same thing happens, verb ing plus extension. So the structure is here, it is no good or use plus verb ing plus extension. Okay, so let's move on to the next slide. Can't help him, I cannot help laughing, couldn't help laughing. So here the your known phrase cannot help, couldn't help. So next couple of sentences, we went to Sylhet with a view to visiting the tourist spots. The students met the head teacher with a view to forming a language club. Here is the phrase, the view to. So these are also known to you, as you have already read the chapter right from our verbs. So look at the structure. Next. Okay, what you find here, cannot help or could not help or with a view to, these phrases are followed by some special form of verb, and it is verb plus ing. Okay, I am not going to give you any more activity on these phrases because these are known to you. So okay, let's move on and do the activity at home by yourself. Okay, we are almost at the end of the class and only 2 slides are left. In these 2 slides you will get some more sentences that are normally used as known as proverbs, and sometimes they are also used in the test item as completing sentences. Okay, so these are the sentences 1 2 3 4 and 5, and I am just going to show the part that may be missing in your exam script, and of course the part is going to be underlined. This is divided with all. Wears a crown, love is thin, and it is red or hot. Okay, so you will have to memorize the proverbs if you want to get full marks. Okay, let's move on the next slide. This is also about the proverbs. What is lotted cannot be blotted. A is tease in time saves 9. The wearer best knows where the shoes pinches. The sooner the better. And the last one, size doesn't matter, chopping wood. So I'm going to only the missing part here. Cannot but blotted saves 9. The shoes pinches. The better, chopping wood. Okay, similarly the underlined parts may be missing in your answer script. So we are almost at the end. So what is next? And this is farewell. And what is next? And this is stay home and stay safe, students. So I hope that you have got a clear idea about the completing sentence, and of course if you follow the rules attentively at home, then you will be able to complete the completing sentence. And yet if you have any problem, then just feel free to send any comment in comment box. And before giving final farewell, let me say you assalamu alaikum, Allah hafiz, and I'm going to approach you very soon with next topic. Okay.